But like Coach said, my name is Matt Janus. I am the defense coordinator at UW La Crosse, and if you guys haven't been in tune to what's going on in the WIAC, it's been a pretty special, really 2 years with our program and with our university. Our head coach, you guys probably see him around a little bit today, Coach Smith, got hired 2 years ago. And his whole vision for our program was to go back to being the pinnacle of Division III football. If you guys are familiar with the history of UW La Crosse, we have 3 national championships, over 30 conference championships. So in year 1, Coach Schmidt went 5-5, and that was the most wins our program had in probably the last 5 years. Sticking with that vision of being the pinnacle of Division III football, in year 2 now, we went 8-2, as Coach said. And that's a huge jump, really huge jump for us as a program. I know you guys have been around through the coaching world. You guys know how big of a jump that is. And now, as a program, we're looking to make the next big jump. Right, going from 8-2, or 5-5, 3-7 to 8-2 is a huge jump. And now we're making the next biggest, the biggest mountain, and that's going 10-0, 15-0, trying to get to a conference national championship. So, before I get into really our option football and defending the option, I need to tell you guys what we do and what we do on defense, because that leads everything, that all leads up into what we do against the option. So like I said, our tagline is our way. That's a program-wide philosophy, and what you guys are seeing on this sheet, as Coach Lichty will know a little bit, I give our guys almost every day we have an install, I'm giving them a packet of information. You know, some of you guys that are teachers, they're getting that. I think Huddle's great. I think it's awesome that our kids can look at it on film, or watch their film whenever, wherever, but I'm still kind of a pen and paper guy. So our kids will get this for every meeting, every install session, so that not only do they have it in a binder, but that they can also pull it out, take notes during our meetings. So our tagline as a program is our way. Our philosophy, as Coach Schmidt will tell, and really our whole staff will tell anybody, it's really simple at UW La Crosse. 1, we're going to recruit really good players. 2, we're going to surround you with great people. And then 3, we're going to hold them to ridiculously high standard. So that's all kind of part of our model, our way. And then as we look to our defense, I don't really have goals or anything. I don't believe that, I know there's statistics backed with it, but I think it's hard to measure, like, hey, I got 10 defensive goals every week, and what if you get all 10 goals and then you still lose the game? So our foundation is what I want on every Saturday night when I turn on our game film. Our foundation is what I want visible on film. Take everything else away. Take the score, take everything else. These are the 3 things: toughness, discipline, passion, that I want visible on film every single game. And then we turn to really our focus. Like I said, I don't have goals, but these are the things. Our focus is what we're thinking about each and every week. And this sets up, our focus really sets up, both offensively and defensively, our practice structures throughout the week. So it's us scoring defense, 1, and what is scoring defense? To us, and what I hammer home with our players, is what is demanded to win the game. It's not hold them under 10 points. It's not keep them to 17. It's not that. It's what is demanded to win each game. For you defensive guys, there's going to be games where you're playing lights out. And you held an opponent to 3, 7, maybe you shut them out. But there's also going to be games where you need to stop. They've scored every single drive, but you need to stop on that last play, on that last drive. You're up 42-35. You need to stop on that last play. So our focus all turns to what is demanded to win. 2, our rushing defense. Obviously, we'll get into that with the option as we go. I don't care what level you're playing at. You still need to stop the run. And you can stop, I don't care, spread team, whatever. If you can stop the run and make a team one-dimensional, then it's really fun as a play call. Focus 3, as you see, our red zone defense. That's the simplest way to put it, is taking touchdowns and turning them into field goals, turning field goals into punts, and then turning punts into field position. That's the way I look at our red zone defense and how we want to approach it. Point 4, takeaways. That's pretty self-explanatory. 5, explosive defensive plays. TFL, sacks, obviously are the big ones you think of, but hey, we're also talking like a batted ball. They want to throw a fade, they want to take the one-on-one matchup, they throw a fade and our corner knocks it down. That's an explosive play to get our guys going. And then number 6 is penalties. And I don't just mean in terms of, hey, don't punch somebody in the face with a helmet. That's, no dumb penalties. Yes, we preach that too. But we also spend a huge amount of time with our defensive backs talking about what pass interference is. where your hands can go, where they should go, when it's called. We spend time, that's our defensive back meeting, and Coach Lichty's in them too, and he'll tell you, we talk about that every time we pull up our 7-on-7 tape. Every time we go into a game, we'll tell them, hey, that's PI, hey, this is where your hands got to go. And we teach that in every single defensive back meeting. So like I said, our guys are going to get this. This is kind of the cover page as we go throughout the week, as we go into our install meetings. Continue. Like I said, I'm going to talk for a little bit on just what we do as a defense. So what we do, I think the easiest ways is I got to recruit student athletes. You guys are working with student athletes at some of the high school levels as well. And you think about looking at the colleges, well, hey, we're going to have a major, we're going to have a minor, and then I kind of threw an emphasis in. So at UW La Crosse, really our major is quarters. That's, sorry there, get to that in a second. Our major is quarters, so everything that we do is out of our quarter system. We're going to be in this 50, 60, 70% of the time. That's what we run. It's going to be press man on the outside, and we go from there. Our rules are based out of our first install, are all based out of, everything else we put in is based out of our quarters defense. Our minor, so we're going to sprinkle a little bit in some Tampa 2, okay? And really, I'll install Tampa 2 with you in 2 seconds, all right? We're going to split our safeties between the hashes and the numbers. All right? Our Mike is going to carry number 2 vertical, and then we're going to spot drop with the other 2 linebackers to play hard in the flat. That's really our Tampa. Obviously, there's more to it, but that's really our Tampa defense right there. And then our emphasis after that, as a defense, our emphasis is we're going to be very aggressive. So we're going to combine our major quarters with our blitz package. We're going to play 3 deep, 3 under, bring in 5 in a fire zone, or we're going to play 3 deep, 2 under, and bring in 6 in a fire zone. All right, so everything we do on defense is aggressive. It's an aggressive style of play. And that starts really with our quarters. We're not going to play off. There's some times and situations we'll get to off with our corners, but I'm not going to give up an easy 5, 6, 7 yards because our corner's playing at 7 yards. I'm playing off man at 7. All right? Everything with our quarters covered is designed to throw it 1, over our defensive backs' heads, or 2, into tight windows. I want to make the quarterback try to beat us. Okay? So, we're going to get into, and I'm going to spend about 5 minutes on our quarters because this is going to carry over into how we defend the option. Alright? So, like I said, this is kind of some of the sheets that our players would get throughout the week. It's going to have a formation sheet. It'll go from here. So I'm just drawing it up out of a 2x2. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But like I said, on the outside, it's going to be press man. You're man-to-man, unless we get an immediate under, in which case our corners will zone off looking at the quarterback. Okay, our safeties and our linebackers really are responsible for number 2, okay, after 5 yards. So they're going to take it basically right after our linebacker, after they clear linebacker level. Number 2 is now yours. Okay, we're going to play aggressive as well with our safeties, like I told you earlier. Throw it over our heads and throw it in a tight window. Our safeties are not going to give ground. They're not going to pedal to 20 or anything like that. They are designed to take it right off of the linebackers at about 7 to 8 yards. Okay? And then our linebackers right here, our 2 outside linebackers in a 2x2 set, all right, he is responsible for number 2, in or out before 5 yards. So our linebackers, all 3 of them will stay on a flat fence. They do not give ground, they do not drop, they line up at 5, and then if they get a pass read, they are pushing to number 2. Okay? And then our Mike will be responsible for the last one, depending on what the formation is. Number 3, in and out after 5 yards. Okay? Our safeties, again, they're going to be on number 2 the whole time, both of them. So even if we were to get like a 5-yard out route, he's going to have his eyes and he'll start working to the out route already. So even if our, let's say our Sam linebacker, he gets a 5-yard out drives and misses the tackle, our safety's still going to be right over the top of number 2 anyway. Our safety's rules will also be, and it's kind of a rule breaker, if we get a bubble by number 2, our safety goes. It is his now. So he has 2 vertical after 5 yards, and any bubble by number 2. Okay, and the reason for that, I think all of us at some point or another are starting to see all this RPO stuff, and we've been seeing it for probably the last 5 years or so. If they want to run an inside zone type look right here, and run the bubble and RPO and read our Sam, well, our Sam has a lot of fit in the box. So we can't just say, hey, you got the bubble too. So that's why our safety will trigger with any 2 bubble. Okay? Another reason why I love quarters. Okay? I think when I was at the high school level, I was just obsessed with cover 3. I thought it was awesome. I loved it. It was simple. But I got away from it. I really don't do anything with cover 3 anymore because in our quarter system, we're always going to have an extra player. Okay, whether it's going to be one of these outside linebackers or a safety, meaning an extra player coming down against the run. All right, I got sick of, in the cover 3 system, of trying to determine, hey, which way I should spin, which way I should go. Is it formationally based? Is it based off of, do I just call a field or boundary spin or strong or weak spin? So this way in our quarter system, we're going to get an extra player in the box every time it's run. Okay? So just to give you guys an idea, again, we're playing something different up to the top of your screen, but you'll get a feel. This is a 2x2 set right here. We're going to just get the flat fade concept right here. Again, we're going to play press man. We're going to bail out. It's our bail technique a little bit. All right, so he's all of him. There's our 2 out. There we go. Again, you see our safety, number 39 right here. He's eyed up on our tight end anyway. So even at 56, he's diving for the ball, misses it. We're still going to get him into the picture. Yeah, he's out at 5 yards, all of our linebackers. Kind of moving on through our quarters coverage as you see it, and you guys will get kind of a feel. We are, I guess I missed explaining that, we are a 4-3 defense, but if you look at it, what does it look like? 3-4 personnel, right? So we took an athlete, and instead of having like a hand-down defensive end, we're going to take our best, we have a couple linebackers that were too big to play inside linebacker. They're 6'4", they're 230. So now we're going to take them and we're going to put them on the line of scrimmage and let them be a defensive end, which is kind of nice because we're going to keep it as simple as we can on the back end, but now we can get very exotic in the front seven, meaning we can get into 4-3 fronts, we can get into 3-4 fronts, we can do a lot of different things up front. Kind of continuing, we talked about getting an extra player. Watch 39 right here. Nobody even touches him, but we're getting an extra player based off of his reads. Alright, so he's going to be responsible for this. We're going to try to crack. He'll replace our linebackers. You see our Sam, you see our Mike. They're going to fall behind the zone. All of our run fits are based off of formation, so our Sam will make basically every run fit call that we have. So as we go to the tight, they're going to fall behind the zone right here. He's our extra player, he's our extra player. So really we brought 2 extra players into the picture right there. One more with quarters, just so you guys get a sense of it again. All right? In our quarter system, when we start to get, and everybody's kind of starting to go to this power read type stuff or this jet motion type stuff, we had our rule of 2 bubble, right? Number 2 run to bubble is the safety. Well, what we've done in our system, we created that with jet motion tune-up. So now as we get this jet motion, watch our boundary safety, he now triggers. He sees it as a 2 bubble. So now he comes down. So that's important too because that's going to carry over to some of the stuff we do against the option as well. Alright, so that's a little bit, like I said, that's just a little sneak peek at our quarters. That's kind of our base rules. That's going to carry through. Like I said, love it. Everything is, we keep it as simple on our back end as we possibly can. I told you our major, I told you our minor, I told you our emphasis. We're not running 100 different coverages. We're not running quarters, man, 3. We're not running a whole bunch of stuff. Alright, because they need technique in the back end. You can't, if you're playing all those coverages, well then you're not really playing with any technique back there, and you're just trying to disguise different coverages as you go. So our defensive backs coach, listen, they spend all day on technique, on press man technique, on bail technique. That's really their day, every day, because it's such a technique that needs to be perfected. And where we're going to get exotic, like I told you guys earlier, we're going to get exotic up here. We'll teach our technique and we'll go through that. We can do some different things because once a defensive lineman knows how to play in 4-eye, okay, now I can go to an Okie front. If he knows how to play in 3 technique, now I can go to an over or an under front as we go. Okay, so really, like I said, that's our quarters right there.